Today's class we are going to discuss one of the important topic in C is the preprocessor or preprocessor directive. As the name suggests, what do we mean by preprocessor? Remember, before compiler reading the open curly bracket of a main function, first of all it reads the statement which is defined before main function. So why the name is preprocessor. Again I am repeating, before compiler reading main function curly bracket, it reads those statement which is defined before the main function, and most often all the preprocessor starts with a hash symbol that represents the compiler read this statement first, then read the rest of the block of statement which is written in between the main function. Hence, the definition tells a block of statement is processed before the start of the compilation is called preprocessor. They are not included in compiler. Means compiler does not find those statement in itself. Means before compilation it execute preprocessor statement, then execute the statement those are present within the main function open curly bracket and close curly bracket. They are actually kept at the beginning, however they can be placed anywhere in the program. For better understanding, you have to place before the main function, but you can place anywhere in the program. First, the compiler start process our source code. It checks if there are any pre-compiler included in the program. If present, it will execute the preprocessor in the C first, then go to the compilation. Finally, the code is executed. For example, printf and scanf function is defined in the header file stdio.h. When it reads printf, then it searches the header file which contains the printf and scanf. If it is present, then the codes are executed. If it does not present, it will display the message the prototype required, means header file to be included. Means at the time of requirement, it checks either the preprocessor directives are included or not. If it is found, the successful compilation takes place. If it does not found, it provides the message to include the specific preprocessor directives. How preprocessor works? Two diagrams are there. First diagram is our program, what we have written, then the preprocessor which is written with a hash, then the source code. Means if the source code needs the preprocessor to be checked, it checks the preprocessor, then the compiler produces the respective object code and the program executes. Other figure gives rise to first the source code, then it checks the preprocessor directive it needs for the source code. If it needs to be checked, it checks the preprocessor directive. Then after checking all the preprocessor directive statements, then compilation starts and the codes are executed. Again I am repeating, you are writing source code. Suppose in the source code there is some printf or scanf statement is there. Printf and scanf statement is defined in the header file. It checks the header file. If it is found this, then the compilation process and codes to be executed. If it does not found, then the compilation will not continue. It prompts the user to include the respective preprocessor directives. And after including it, the preprocessor directive finds its respective directives, then the compilation successful and code to be executed. What are the different types of preprocessor directive? We are discussing two important preprocessor directive first. First is hash include. Hash is known as preprocessor, include is known as your directory, followed by preprocessor directive means the header file will be there. What is the need of header file? Because within the header file, the predefined functions are defined. If you don't include the header file, the different function will not work. Like for character operation, the header file is stdio.h. For string operation, the header file is string.h. For mathematical operation, the header file is math.h. If you do not include the header file, the corresponding method or the function will not work. And hash is providing a linkage between the include directory to the specific header file. Hence it is written, what is about has include? These C programming processor directive are used to include essential content inside the program. This statement generally starts with a symbol hash. They are generally used inside the program and include in the header file because functions are defined in the header file. If you don't include the header file, the functions will not work. How the header file is included? Hash include followed by the specific header file name. Like this, another preprocessor directive is hash. What is hash define? Hash define is used to create the macro, means if a macro is defined and when the macro is called, its replacement will be there, and macro is otherwise known as macro constant. Suppose value of pi is 3.14. If you want to use number of times, if you call the macro name as pi, it will be replaced by its replacement statement. What the value is defined by the macro, that value cannot be changed within the life cycle of the program. Hence it is otherwise known as the macro constant. Means through the help of hash define, we can create the macro. These directives are used to define the macro. Macro is used to represent the constant value. The values used in the macro are replaced before compilation. First it is declared, and when it is called, it is replaced by its respective statement, and enter is known as the macro template. Two preprocessor directives we discuss in today's class. One is hash include and one is hash define. Other preprocessor directive we are going to discuss with example in the next class. Today it is a small session. Try to give your comments. Having any doubt, make the comment. Those have not subscribed, only view the video, kindly subscribe it. And those have liked the video, kindly like it. And we will be taking 1 or 2 sessions to complete the preprocessor directive. Thank you. See you in the next class.